ora. I am very excited to be joined by someone who is very prolific in their creative practice. Riki Pirihi, thanks so much for joining me.
Kia ora, Emma.
Now, we've been brought together for this chat because of your upcoming performances, your performance residency at Pyramid Club, which will consist of 2 master drummer nights and one of your very profound conduction orchestras. Before we get into chatting about those events, I'd love to get an insight into your brain as much as possible. You're someone who's been involved in countless projects, from the truly experimental, such as the duo work you've done with Jeff Henderson and other things, to drumming in Fat Freddy's. So I'd love to ask, what is the kind of connecting thread, if there is one, that runs through these vastly different projects for you?
A connecting thread. It's actually probably 2 threads. One would be mostly curiosity. Well, the first one would be just kind of curious to see where, especially more in the kind of improvised realm of things. Like, I'm just generally curious about what would happen if we put this block with this block, and what would happen, or just sort of smushing brains together. And probably the second thread that, which is probably way less important, but it's just sort of like it was a job for a while too. So you just end up, as a drummer, you just end up freelancing with people like the Freddies, or with different singer songwriters or whoever. Yeah. And you just do that, but that's still kind of they sort of feed each other a little bit, like the curiosity of, the more explorative playing sort of feeds into your language when it comes to doing more mainstreamy stuff, sort of. But yeah, it's good. It's good to be, I think, living here in Aotearoa, you need to be kind of well-rounded and have a few strings to your bow if you want to sort of survive.
Right.
But yeah, that's really what it is, though. It's probably the curiosity, is the fascination, and just an eagerness to learn and get better, and just to develop as an artist. And yeah.
Yeah, with the curiosity, like, is that something that you grew to expand over time? Like, was it something that is easier to follow now than maybe 10, 20 years ago?
Yeah, that's it's almost like at this point now, where I'm at with my kind of musical journey, it's very similar to when I started out. I was quite obsessed with the drums when I was a kid, and would draw drum kits everywhere, and like just listen to records all the time and practice with my mum's knitting needles, and until finally got some drumsticks, and then and it's kind of that sort of awakened again over the past sort of, I'd say probably like 5 to 10 years. I've just really been just into it. Hey, like just seeing where, and everything kind of feels fresh and exciting, and I think that's quite a good place to be. Where things feel challenging, and the older you get, like sort of the more maintenance you need to do in terms of still be able to play the drums, and and just being really into just loving the next wave of younger players coming through and younger musicians. It's just so exciting and cool, and just hate to, always dread that idea of being an old head that is a gatekeeper or stuck in his ways or whatever. I think it's really exciting, all the cool stuff going on, and it's cool to be part of it sometimes, So yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, from the outside, you seem like the very opposite of that, of a gatekeeper and an old head.
Oh, sweet. Oh, that's good.
What was it about the last 5, 10 years in particular? Was that when you started to experiment more with different genres?
Yeah, it's kind of been on and off all the way through, really. Um, like even if because I'm from Dunedin, and I spent it would be like at least the first good 10 years of learning the drums, and I played in orchestras and things down there, and brass bands, and came up and was in a couple of kind of metal bands and things like that, and then came up with a jazz school, and then did the jazz school thing. Then Trinity happened, and then I sort of, once Trinity roots finished, I kind of went into becoming a bit of a session player, which was cool, and lots of touring and that sort of thing. And then I'm sort of where I am at now, sort of, that carried on in university and blah, blah, blah. And all the way through, it's just always kind of jumped in and out of things that I found really interesting. Even through jazz scores, like I found it really cool to drift off from the repertoire that they were teaching us, and then of course it's the community that I've been really lucky to be a part of here that inspires all that, that teaches you so much. Even with Pyramid Club and Happy and the space and all the great people that make up that community is it's definitely like it's like a real super learning environment. So it's kind of it's hard to pinpoint what it is. It's just, again, it always comes down to being fascinated by stuff and like being exposed to new music that I'm not trying to copy as such, but trying to sort of synthesize into sort of my own thing, really. Yeah, rather than just copying or just yeah. So that's pretty much where it's always been. Like just gonna go, oh, this is cool what we're doing, but what's going on over here? This looks really good over here too. This looks cool.
And drums seems to be a really one of those instruments that a drummer is involved with so many different projects,
Yeah.
Like I can think of a few around town at the moment, like Live Campion.
Yeah.
And Hikurangi and things like that, and they just pop up everywhere, eh? And yourself, like, it seems like, that flexibility and is kind of key to being a drummer in so many different projects.
Yeah.
Is that something you've experienced?
Yeah, and they're two great examples right there of really well-rounded drummers, like all musicians. They're so drumming's just part of their sort of suite of musical tools that they have. But yeah, they just, and it's good too. I always say to like younger players, but I've got a couple of younger students at the moment, and just trying to encourage them that, if you want to be a metal drummer, that's great, but like just do that, but like jump into other stuff too, that it's way out of your comfort zone, and because you'll learn so much, it'll just really strengthen your kind of musical identity in the long term. Don't be afraid to try other stuff. But yeah, Liv and Hick though, they're two amazing players that really, they're like exemplars of that well-roundedness.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about a project or like a new project that, I mean, you've talked about curiosity, like is there anything else that makes you feel drawn to starting a new project or being involved with a project?
Okay, it's like, I guess with any kind of project, it's always some kind of capture of dialogue, whether that's musical dialogue or, so quite often I always find it's great jumping into a project with people that you really like, and like you kind of connect with and have some kind of common ground with or understanding. And then sometimes it's great when that's not like that too, it's when you're kind of opposites or whatever. But generally it's that, I'm sort of drawn to, there's a few things, like, do I get on with the people involved? Like, is this project going to push me? Is it going to like make me work hard, which is good? Is it going to challenge me in some way? I joined Orchestra Spheres. That was a really great example of that. they were like one of my all-time favorite bands before I joined, and
Oh,
then had the
true.
opportunity to play with them, and I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
this music's hard. This music's hard. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And but it was great. It was like still still my all-time favorite like band in terms of a band
Yeah.
I've ever been a part of.
That's
And
so funny. In my head,
yeah.
you were one of the like founding members, you know?
No, it was Jeremy was the and then Andy Wright. So yeah, I came in and did some engineering and production on a Suez record, and then Andy left, and then I took over from him after he left.
Yeah.
So it's like the third. Maybe was there another drummer? Maybe it was the third drummer. I've got a feeling there might
True.
be someone else. Apologies if there is, but no, I think I'm the third.
I'll fact check it.
Yeah, fact check it. Yeah, yeah. So I was. That was yeah the most exhilarating, the most, and again a great example of just such beautiful people to play
Yeah.
music with, and like yeah, most humble musicians and just absolute monsters. You know, far out.
Totally.
Yeah, that's like that would be the best example I can give of that in terms of like a proper project.
How do you feel Orchestra of Spheres expanded your drumming practice?
Oh, immensely, yeah, more than any other project I've been part of, really.
Wow.
Which is like, and it's no disrespect to other things I've done previous to that, but you know they were cool, but they're sort of a bit repetitive or a bit, you know, you just sort of go through the motions a little bit, and you get that as a drummer. Sometimes you go, oh God, I'm doing the same thing over and over. But with the Spears, it was like because of the improvisational nature of it too. You know, it's just sort of structured songs and would do songs. It was like, you know, they're rhythmically. There's lots of good rhythmic challenges in there, and yeah, just really expanded my. I think it just expanded my playing in ways that I probably don't realize. I think it was just actually through playing. We did a lot of gigs,
Yeah.
and I think just through doing those gigs too, you kind of expand your brain. You know, it's like,
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely did. I can, but ever since, you know, again from that community, I feel like there's been some amazing growth in terms of the mentors I've had, like Ant Donaldson and even Jeff Henderson, and the Spheres I'd say would be like mentors, you know.
And you
Each
get to
of,
play with all them as well. That's awesome.
yeah, that's really cool. You kind of, they really do, they're very generous with their musicality and ideas
Yeah.
and just their honesty, and yeah, it's really awesome. Very blessed. Yeah.
And you are, yeah, just such a multifaceted artist as well. You're an electronic producer under Cave Circles.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I forgot about that one.
Forgot about it.
Too many to count. Yeah, Ships, your 2020 album is one that I would highly recommend to anyone out there who hasn't listened to it yet. Such a good album. Such a good album. It's so like every track's different.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm actually in the process of making a new one, which is completely different again.
Yes.
I don't know what that was, a kind of a lockdowny album, but yeah, I'm wanting to go for a really percussive David Lee Jr. / Evolution type percussion and timpani and voice and stuff.
Yeah. And so many different people involved with it as well, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, there was on that. Yeah, there was like ended up growing, and I think it was around lockdown too. It's sort of or was it lockdown? I don't know, maybe it was around that time anyway.
what part of your practice are you kind of feeling most drawn to at the moment?
Well, to be honest, I'm just pivoting out of the social work space. So I've been working in, it's been working in kind of, I'd say, sort of frontline or sort of frontline and back end mental health stuff for the past couple of years. So I've been involved, started a music program helping some tangata whaiora down through Waifetu, and that's really been my focus like for the past couple of years. So I've got lots of things going on, but that takes up a lot of time and energy, and I'm only just now kind of getting back to like, ooh, what is it I want to do as I kind of pivot into a new role. I guess I could say it. Yeah, I'm going to be working at Massey.
Oh, cool. Oh, awesome.
Lecturing
Congrats.
there, yeah. I don't know if I can say it. I probably can say it. By the time this comes out, I'll be probably there. So,
Wow.
which will be, it's bittersweet, but that's where I really want to like lean back more into the conduction and really more into the drums and producing and all the stuff that I used to do
Yeah.
before I went to uni and did all that jazz. So, yeah, I'm quite excited because I just turned 50 this year, and I'm like, okay, I better get into it. Like this next next 20 years could be 70 doing some cool ass shit would be really cool.
Yeah, mate, you could smash out like 20 albums.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
20 different genres.
Yeah, call it 2020, eh? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess a really fun upcoming thing is a Pyramid Club.
Oh yeah.
A couple of events where you'll be drumming, number one.
Yeah.
And you've talked a little bit about how you started on drums and things like that. You'll be doing improvisation for these, eh? Improvisational sets.
Yep.
Would love to know how you prepare your mind for improvisation.
Yeah, it's a good question. Well, my first thing I always think about, especially in this context, because I'll be playing, I think the format is solo on both nights. It's solo, then I do a duo, then a trio, then it's like a quartet or a quintet. So really, it's like the main thing that comes to the front of my mind is not to repeat
Right.
ideas. Or if you do repeat an idea, it's a development of the previous one, or but not to sort of. So it's a really good opportunity to explore the language you have and all the different ideas you have. But then part of it too is I try not to overthink it either. Like it's just being in that environment, especially in the solo context. It's just about like, as Milford Graves always says, like it's about like as musicians or as artists, right? We're there to sort of help with the vibratory system of the human body, So whatever you're doing, you want human. It goes into the eardrum and it sort of the brain, and then it sort of you want it to sort of like in some way give people something that's for the nervous system. That's pretty much, and not sort of too interested in trying to be a drum jock or flashy. You just want to. The main thing I really think is just to be lyrical and open and use a lot of space and just color and just be just patient, taking your time with stuff. So all these things go through my head, and then the people who Dan's already said I'm playing with, who I know really well, and I love them all as musicians, and I've been lucky to play with them over the years. So it's really, really nice to be in this environment. I'm still a little bit uncomfortable with the whole master drummer thing. I'm like, man, maybe I was like 80 or something, but that's all good.
After your 2020.
Yeah, then maybe
albums,
you could do it. I was asking Dan if I could be like student drummer. I'd be really happy with that.
Yeah.
That feels more because I do. And that's the honest truth. I do still feel like I don't feel much different to when I started on the instrument. It's just like,
Yeah. Oh, a humble master.
well, yeah, it's just, I think it's just, I think I'm just not resigned to going, oh, I'm here now. I've made it. I know everything. It's just like, man, it's because of that thing. The more you know about something, the more you realize you don't know jack shit. Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and it's like, man, it's just kind of, and I appreciate it, but yeah, I definitely won't be going into the mindset like, oh, I'm the master drummer here to like do some master drumming. It's very much just like a dude that loves this instrument and the people, that you're getting to play with and just hoping to create something memorable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
When you're performing with people that you know and that you love and have performed with before, how's that different to performing with people that you say like improvising with someone that you don't know? Like, do you kind of
Mm.
have like more of a shared language or something like that, or understanding of each other?
Definitely, yeah. Like for Al Fraser and I, for example, we've played together a lot and we've recorded a few albums together and done a lot of gigs. With Tonga Poodle and drums, and over those years, and because we've known each other from Dunedin too, like we're like best mates from way back. I think there's a real there is a kind of subconscious sort of language between us that well, I know when Al plays like a particular poodle like or Tonga, I sort of will just automatically go off shift modes and try and accompaniment with that and know that okay, I better if he's playing something that's quite high in the register, I won't be up high as well. I'll just come underneath and go low, or just simple things like that. And yeah, and there is over time you do build up an understanding. You get that with Jeff Henderson too. Like I love doing duo stuff with Jeff
Right.
because he really pushes you. He really pushes you, and now I'm at the stage where I just try and keep up. and But it's really cool because it's like we get into this thing and it comes into that flow state thing. And compared to that with people, I've been quite often I go up to Tamaki Makoto, spent a few times at Audio Foundation or whatever, getting to play with people I've never played with, and that's always different too. But it's almost like you're both in agreement that we're both making this up as we're going along.
Right.
So we both have this kind of understanding that we're not going to, like take up too much space, try and leave room for each other to communicate their idea, and or I like leaving space for people to, there's a thing like you could do something there, or yeah. So they're definitely two different modes of thought,
Mm.
but kind of similar to yeah.
You're also, as part of alongside your master slash student drummer night, or 2 nights, you're doing an afternoon event of your conduction orchestras,
Oh yeah,
where people are invited to bring their own instrument,
yeah.
participate in an orchestra guided by you and your method that you created called rangatone, which
Mm-hmm.
translates as the weaving of gestures.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone that doesn't know, you completed your Doctor of Musical Arts degree in composition and wrote your PhD on this idea, rangatone, an indigenous embodiment of conduction. What
Mm-hmm.
what is rangatone to you, and what kind of journey were you on for it to be like the final output of your studies?
Right. Yeah. It's really yeah. So it really all comes back to Butch Morris, or who's the inventor of conduction, which is also which is the using of gestures and signs to symbolize music notation, basically, and you conduct it and you invite musicians to respond to that. And I found that I love it as a practice, and I saw it as an opportunity to sort of weave it into use of Tonga Poodle. So a lot of my research was all with Tonga Poodle pretty much, and did a few did a few non-poodle environments too, which one that you're on actually too, that you played on one of the conductions in
True.
Christchurch.
From
Yeah,
Now
doing
Hear
doing
This.
yeah from the looms. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Um, um, and I wrote about that, so that was cool. And but yeah, it was sort of it's a small iteration into that, like it's really just saw an opening, and it's like anything with it. If you do a doctorate or whatever, you sort of don't complete anything really. You just sort of start something, and you by the time you get to the end of the project, you're like, oh, I'm at the beginning of this whole thing.
The more you know, the less
And
you know. Again.
yeah, the
Yeah.
more yeah, and it's been really my intention really was to hopefully other people, especially like people that are centered in around Tongapuru and that practice, to sort of pick it up and turn it into their own thing. So Rahana Tito Taylor or Wi-Fi, that's been the one who's really picked it up and taken Rangotone, and he's got Rangotone ki Tamaki Makoto. He's got his own ensemble, and he's actually really amazing at doing it because he's invented a whole bunch of new gestures and things around it. So that was always the intention, is that someone pick it up and keep developing this idea. Just like how I come along and saw it in butchers and thought, oh, I could develop this into like as like I guess like through a Te Ao Māori lens with it. That's what it is, and it's kind of a simplified version of conduction that is sort of reframed through that. Just through by using kupu Māori and just some of those ideas that are more centered around the pool themselves rather than sort of European instruments or Western instrumentation. So that's really what it is. But on that workshop, I'll pull in bits of that, but also bits of Butch Morris's um, conduction as well, because it's a lot wider, and the lexicon of gestures is huge, and you can do lots of cool stuff. So yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
how exciting! That's funny. I need to go read that because I remember that conduction orchestra so well. And I actually I don't think I told you, but I teared up during it, and it was the first time
Oh,
I'd ever
cool.
teared up while being on a stage or anything, and it was just it was really moving. Just you have such an amazing attention to everyone and awareness of everyone, and you'd
Oh, cool. Thanks, man.
yeah,
Oh,
you'd
you played awesome stuff. You were playing samples and stuff.
oh yeah, the
Well,
deluge.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, it actually makes the whole, because it's like yeah, it's really awesome what you did on that. I
Oh,
love what you did.
thanks. Yeah, it's just
We
so
you
many.
come do it
Yeah,
again.
yeah. It's just so many instruments. And I remember Reese, Big Flip the Massive, had
Yep,
his son there, playing the drum, and
yep. That was so cool. Yeah, big shout out to Reese. He's like my hero,
yeah,
man. He's like, I'm so inspired by that guy. Just want to add that in there.
hard out. I heard he's writing another album as well.
I know, the best
Yeah, I
news.
know. It's
Yeah.
so exciting. What is that experience like for you conducting a group of people compared to playing the drums in a group?
Um, to be really honest with you, I find it quite uncomfortable.
Right.
It's kind of the irony. I definitely prefer playing the drums more, and I was really, again, it's just curiosity. I thought, oh, it'd be cool to do conduction and learn about it and try and turn it into it. Then I thought, oh shit! Now I found myself, I'm doing the conducting part of it. I didn't think about that. You're gonna have to do that, and that's cool. It's really cool to sort of be, because you're sort of like you're not, like you're only really there. The conductor in that context is only there for the structure of the music. You're not actually writing any music. It's actually all the musicians that are creating the music. It's just like, as the conductor, you're there just shaping it, just giving it form, giving it structure, giving it dynamics or whatever. But it's the musicians and their history and their personalities and everything that actually bring the music alive. So that's one thing I've really learned from doing that. Um, and I think that's why it was my intention to try and find other people to take it on board, so then I wouldn't have to be the person doing it. I kind of, so often I just want to be in the ensemble, playing, but It's cool though. I think I do prefer playing drums more, but in saying that, it's cool. I'm getting sort of better at conducting, and it's just a practice that you just need to get better at, and it's really cool because I'm doing this Chamber Music New Zealand tour at the moment with a quartet with Ruby, Solly, Serenity Thurlow, Al Fraser, and Kiva Maitama, and then Tina Makareti. She's an author that's reading this pūrākau that she's written, and I'm conducting. She's using rangatone to create the sound world while she's reading, and then responding. And that's been really cool because it's sort of a little bit more. It's more focused and stuff, and I can. It's way more kind of structured and scripted out a bit. So
Cool.
yeah.
Is that coming to Te Whanganui-a-Tara?
Yeah, we performed at the Festival of the Arts, I think. But I think it's coming back. But we've got a tour over the next sort of year or so,
Cool.
going to different little writers' festivals and things. So yeah, that's cool. So yeah,
Awesome. Well, keep an eye out for that. And come to Pyramid Club. I think it's like Friday 31st and Saturday the 1st of August.
Cool.
So, yeah, cool. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, no worries. It was so good to see you, mate.